We're talking blockbuster trade rumors today here on Seahawks Today. Could Seattle make a move for Danielle Hunter or Josh Uche ahead of the NFL trade deadline? We will discuss coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, folks, we are bringing you more Seattle Seahawks videos than we ever have before. This is our second video of the day, trying to get to 42.5 1,000 subscribers on the channel, less than 200 subs away from doing so. If you want us to continue bringing you these double video days, then you need to subscribe. Check out our Seahawks Cardinals preview that went out on the channel earlier today with a complete breakdown of what's ahead in Sunday's matchup with my keys to the game, look at the injury report, prediction, and more. Go check that out. Subscribe now to Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Danielle Hunter, could he make his way to Seattle? The Minnesota Vikings star pass rusher is having an incredible season so far, and the folks at USA Today, yes, USA Today, people still read the newspaper, apparently, have named the Seahawks as the top trade destination to acquire Danielle Hunter with the deadline approaching here in just a couple of weeks. Here's more from USA Today. Hunter has been one of the most productive pass rushers in the NFL this year with 6 sacks, and he's on a sinking Minnesota Vikings team that really needs to sell assets at the deadline to replenish young talent on the roster. If Seattle really wants to set itself apart in the NFC this season, adding Hunter to this roster would be a big way to make a statement. Now, we've heard from John Schneider and Pete Carroll say this time and time again, that in 2023, the Seattle Seahawks are in win-now mode. They currently sit at 3-2. They're only a game back of the Niners in the division. And as I have stated many times before, and I will continue to reiterate on this program, if you are trying to compete with San Francisco, as the Seahawks say they are, then you are in the midst of an arms race with San Francisco. They are proactive. They are making moves all the time. You have to do what you can to keep up with San Francisco as they continue to acquire talent. Here's the idea that I've thrown out there when it comes to bringing in Danielle Hunter. Offer him a second and a fifth, and I'm in on the idea of bringing Danielle Hunter to Seattle. That, to me, is a huge win for one of the best pass rushers in the league. I got some statistics and some other things I want to show you here in just a second. But what do you guys think about that trade idea? Trading for Danielle Hunter. It's our pinned comment today. Your chance to be John Schneider here on Seahawks Today. Why for yes, in for no. What do you think? Get in that comment section. Give me a letter of what you believe Seattle should do. Danielle Hunter was a second-team All-Pro back in 2018 and was a Pro Bowler as recently as last year, a 3-time Pro Bowler, and right now is having a career season, playing as good as he has played ever, with 8 sacks already through the first 6 games of 2023. And you compare that to what he's done throughout his career, he's already passed up his sack total from 2021. He's closing in on passing up his number from 2022. Danielle Hunter is right there in the thick of the prime of his career, and he's done all this coming back from a neck injury back in 2020. Pretty remarkable from Danielle Hunter. And I know some of you are going to sit here and say, well, you know, the Seahawks pass rush is improved. They're playing better. You've already spent this money on Draymond Jones. Why would you need to make a move for another pass rusher? To which I would say this: there has been improvement, but Hunter would provide consistency to said pass rush. You've had 14 sacks the last 2 games. But are you going to do that week in and week out? I don't know. Danielle Hunter would make that easier. You look at the sack leaders for the Seahawks right now. Jaron Reed, Boye Mafe, those guys have been terrific. Devin Witherspoon, Bobby Wagner, Draymond Jones, Jordan Brooks, Uchenna Nwosu, each with 2 sacks. This has been steps in the right direction for this group over the last couple of weeks. But you need consistency. And the bottom line is this, folks. You can't have too many pass rushers, as far as I'm concerned. So, Danielle Hunter, you are more than welcome with open arms to join the Seattle Seahawks. A second and a 5th round pick, trying to keep up with San Francisco, John Schneider, Pete Carroll, make it happen. Who's the player the Seahawks should trade for? I got a couple that we're talking about today of the rumors that are out there. What say you, though? Get in that comment section. Name me a player that you want to see in a Seahawks uniform before the deadline here in a couple of weeks. Today's show is presented by BetUS, the exclusive sportsbook partner of Chat Sports. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, enter the promo code Seahawks125, you will get a 125% deposit bonus. Put $100 down. You get $125 to spend for free at chatsports.com/bet. The odds for this weekend, the Seahawks a touchdown plus favorite, 8 to be exact. The over-under at 44.5. If you want to bet on this game as well as other games across the National Football League, you can do so. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code Seahawks125. Now we shift gears to New England and talk about the dumpster fire that is Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, who are off to a 1-5 start. They're about to play Buffalo and Miami, and they'll be 1-7 in no time. Pro Football Focus is recommending that the Seahawks make a trade for their young pass rusher, Josh Uche. If you don't know much about Josh Uche, that's where I come in to tell you why he could be a good fit in Seattle. Let's listen to what Pro Football Focus had to say. Uche has been remarkably efficient as a designated pass rusher in New England. He has generated 56 quarterback pressures and 12 sacks on just 285 pass rush reps, with his 19.2% pass rush win rate ranking 6th among edge defenders and his 20.7% pass rate placing second. And here's the thing, too. When I look at Josh Uche and his scouting report and all that, this is a young player that plays a valuable role in New England's defense. And they've had a lot of injuries. They they need a lot out of Josh Uche right now. And he's a relatively cheap option. You're taking on the rest of his rookie contract. And what PFF is proposing is that you pull it off with just a 5th-round pick. That's it. That's all it's going to cost you. It's a 5th-round pick for a guy of Uche's level, which isn't getting paid a whole lot and is really just starting to come into his own here. Are you intrigued? I know you're intrigued. Let's tell you more about Uche in a moment, but first, what do you think? Should the Seahawks trade for Josh Uche? Chime in that comment section. Type T for trade, P for pass. Let us know what you think. Hit one of those letters in the comment section below. Now, here's something to think about. As I have squandered through the comment section when we've talked about trades over the last couple of weeks, a lot of you guys have been saying to yourselves, I don't want to give up the draft capital. These picks mean too much, and I understand. But let's just say you give up that 5th-round pick. You still have 7 other picks, okay? You still have the capital here if you give up a 5th to bring in a player of Uche's caliber here. Think about this, okay? He was a 2nd-round pick as recently as 2020. And he's still, I mentioned coming into his own, he's only played in 42 games with 3 career starts. 2 of those are this season. And last year, he was 2nd on the Patriots as a rotational piece in sacks with 11.5. He just happened to be playing with Matthew Judon, who was one of the best defenders in the entire league that led that team in sacks last year. He would have led most teams in the NFL with the sack number he put up, even just as a backup last year. So I put it this way. I think Belichick's starting to lose his fastball a bit. I think his days are kind of numbered there in New England. They are underutilizing Josh Uche. They are not getting the most out of him that they should be. You go to Seattle, you play under Pete Carroll and Clint Hurt. I'm very fascinating of what they could do to get this guy to take that next step. So far through 2023, 6 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 tackle for loss. We mentioned last year that historic season he had with 11.5 sacks and 9 tackles for loss. This is a very good football player that's still coming into his own. So now that you know these scenarios, and I am not one of those people that believes all things are created equal here, what would you rather do? Would you rather bring in Danielle Hunter and give up the 2nd and the 5th, or would you rather bring in Josh Uche and just bring in the 5th and just have to give up the 5th-round pick? What move would you rather go with? If you like the Hunter trade better, type D. If you like the trade for Uche better, type J. Let us know. Which trade would you rather make in the comments section? Folks, thanks for joining us here on Seahawks Today. We're going to be live tomorrow beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. More Seahawks coverage than ever before. It's a great time to be a Seattle Seahawks fan. It's an even better time to be a subscriber for Seahawks Today.